Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. So I'm going to do a quick unboxing and then hopefully an install. Alright, so what I got here is a Perrin Performance Cold Air Intake. This is the one that goes into the bumper essentially. Right now it comes with your license plate frame, and then it looks like instructions. One of the things that kind of concern me is that this is obviously for your 13, 14, 15, and 16 BRZ and FRS, but it doesn't mention the 2017 or newer, so hopefully there isn't any issue with fitment. I would assume that they would fit fine, but I will find out. Something else that comes with is your carb EO sticker for the intake, for those of you that have to comply with that. And then it looks like a couple screws and a couple brackets. We'll go through the instructions to figure out how to put that in. Alright, so I went with the red. I think the other option was black, but I wanted to match the red with the red intake that's already on there. So it's the red wrinkle finish. Here it is. There is this little indentation right there, but that's just to get it underneath the core support of the radiator. And then this bracket hooks up to the front of the core support, and then this is where your sensor goes in, and then this will go essentially on the car like this. This will be exposed. This is where it goes into the bumper. Then it goes into this Perrin foam filter, and then this will get attached to there. So you do have to take off the front bumper in order to put this on, but it seems pretty simple. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pause the video real quick and kind of look at the instructions. Alright, so I pulled the instructions out, and here's everything that's supposed to come with it. Sorry, it doesn't seem to want to focus. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it doesn't want to focus. Let me stop the video and start over. Alright, that's a lot better. So the parts that it comes with is your intake tube, your 3-inch filter, your diverter brackets, worm drive clamp, your Phillips pan screws, flat washers, fender washers, and your hex bolts. I looked through the instructions. They're actually really clear on what to do. Remove fasteners securing the hood, and it has arrows for all the fasteners. And then it says remove 4 plastic fasteners. Once again, arrows where everything is. This is on the side of the fender. And then over here, this is under the car. It's showing you all the fasteners that are under the car that you have to take off. And then it's telling you to keep track of those clips. Make sure you don't lose them for your side marker that pops off. Don't forget this fastener right behind the fender liner. Disconnect the both left and right fog light harness. Pretty much says everything you need to do. Move bumper from one side first. Continue unsnapping, and you're going to work your way over to the other one. Move these 15mm or 10mm bolts. This is what's going to take off the snorkel. Come down here, talks about removing 6 plastic fasteners. You're going to remove the bolts that support the core support, and that way you can lift it up. Shows here lifting it up and pushing that through the mounting hole for the intake tube. Adjust the inlet hose to match the angle of the system, so pretty much move everything around. Attach your intake. Then you're going to use those metal spacers right here to attach the filter intake tube and the little diverter thing that's behind the bumper that you'll see. Then over tighten this clamp, install the sensor, and everything should work. Talks about the card placement and if you're going to do special custom calibrations. Alright, it's got a light sprinkle, but I'm going to work on it anyways. So it says to remove the fastener securing the hood. It says that there should be 5 10mm screws and then 2 plastic screws. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, and here's 5. Then there's the plastic inserts. It's definitely a 10. I use my 10 to loosen it. They're all loose now. And then the next thing it's going to tell me to do is remove the 4 plastic fasteners here in the fender liner. So I'm going to do that next. Alright, so the 4 would be 1, 2, 3, and I'm assuming the 4th one is this one that's behind the blinker that you can't see. It's a Phillips style screw. I'm going to see if I could do this without moving my tire. I might have to turn my tires to the left or right in order to reach these properly. But I need to get to all of those to pop them out, and there we go. Let's try that one again. This bottom one's turning. Alright, to make this easier, I'm just going to move the tire. Alright, so I moved the tire. That gave me just enough room to reach each one. So I have all 4 of them popped out. 1 behind the blinker, and then the 3 right there. So what I need to do now is turn the tire the other way and do the same thing. I'm actually going to remove this too. One thing that it says in the instructions to make sure you don't lose the clips, what I noticed on mine is there are the 1, 2, and my 3rd clip is actually already missing. So need to figure that out. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side now. Alright, I have the tire moved on the passenger side now. I'm just taking these, you turn them slightly, and eventually they just can pop out. Turn, and they can pop out. And then there's one up behind. Mine's missing this one from behind. And then the blinker, you should be able to just kind of pull on, and it should just pop out. It takes some force to do it, but I did it on the other one, so it shouldn't be too hard. There we go. So there we go. That pops out, then you can pull it. This one has all 3 clips, 1, 2, and 3. So now let's see what the instructions say to do. So I did the 4 plastic liners. Okay, now it says right side center fastener shown in picture. So I have to get under the car now, and there are locate left and right side marker lights, pull from top to unsnap from car. With side markers free of car, remove light bulb harness from back by twisting roughly 45 degrees. Note, during removal of side markers there are small clips that can become dislodged. Alright. Okay, I think I basically did this step before I did this step. This step over here says, under the car, locate and remove 2 10mm bolts and 6 plastic fasteners. So I'm going to go underneath the car and see what we got going on. Alright, so I'm under the car now, and if you look, there is 1 10mm fastener there. And then if you look on the back, pretty much center frame, there's another plastic clip. And then right here is a plastic clip. Then as you just keep going through, there's more and more all the way around. And then on the same side as this 10mm, this 10mm right here, there's one on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all those. Alright, so the next thing you need to do is there's a little fastener that's underneath right here that I already pulled off. And then your side markers clip on right here that you pop off. You got to do that on both sides. There's the fastener. Go ahead and show you how I did that on the other side. So right here is the fastener. Pretty much you gotta push push that little portion in and then pull, and then up underneath, right in there, there's a clip. So I'm using just a flat tip and trying to get underneath the clip to pull it out. Might have to go at a different angle, making sure you guys can see this. And then kind of just pop it off. There it goes. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take that portion off. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. Don't forget this fastener, and I removed the tail lights. Now it says remove the bumper from one side first. Basically, I'm gonna go to one side, I'm gonna start pulling off the bumper. I'm gonna attempt to go from over here, and the bumper should just start popping off. I gotta make sure these screws that I had up here are actually completely off. I had them just sitting there, so I need to pop them off first. I moved those clips out. Now I'm just slowly, carefully pulling the bumper away. Trying not to, there's this clip right here I need to pull out completely. Trying to not make sure that I pull on it too hard. Get that clip off. Alright, I got that clip off now. Now you can see the bumper's a lot more loose, and I should be able to just keep working my way over and take this little piece off, put it on the ground, come over to this side, and then there should be only just a couple more spots. There we go. Now the bumper is completely on the ground. Now I have access to everything I need. So the next step, it says, is to remove the 5 10mm bolts. It looks like everything going to the air box. So that'd be one right here, and then right here, that's 3. Right here, that's 4, and then back here, down there is 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, so I have the 5 bolts off. Now it says to remove the 6 plastic fasteners. 1, 2, can't see it, but down there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, and then over here is 6. So I'm going to pop all those off now. Alright, so the next thing it says to do is to remove these, which are 12mm bolts. And then that's basically going to let me lift this up so that I could put everything in place. So right now the next step is I need to undo the intake tube and the sensor. So I'm going to unscrew those and take those off, and then I'm going to go ahead and start removing everything from here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to catch that all on camera. I'll see what I could do so you guys could watch. Just give me a second. Alright, I couldn't set up the camera to pull everything out so you guys could see, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to snake this piece in through there. I already took off the support here, so that kind of gives the intake a little more room. So I'm going to attempt to come in this way with it. Make sure it's the right side. Yep. I'm going to attempt to come through here, and then I'll have to lift up the support to kind of push that through. Alright, hopefully you guys saw that. Basically lifted this up and got this angled in the right spot. So So the next step on the instructions says to mounting hole for intake on bolt lift support. Use supplied M6 hardware. Install flat washer M6 fender washer to M6 bolt. Install through the bracket of the Perrin intake tube and into the thread hole of the chassis. So I have to use this bolt and washer to come through and attach right here. So I'm going to do that next. I'm going to try to set up the camera where it was. You might not be able to see what I'm doing, but better than nothing. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is get this to line up a little bit better though on the tube. Alright, go ahead and remove that bolt. Alright, I got the bolt and the washer. I get the tube lined up. Get it in there loosely for now. This is a really tight fit. So the problem I'm running into, I know you guys can't see it on camera, but the intake needs to slide in. And there we go. I had to get the intake to slide into where it's supposed to go on the inlet tube in order to get this to line up right. There we go. Still a pretty tight fit. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm doing. So I had to slide that on right there, and now I'm trying to get this to line up so that I could screw that in, and that's the next step. I'm going to go ahead and get that done real quick off camera. I have it loosely fit on there, so now if you look, it tells me to adjust the inlet hose to match the angle of the intake system. So the intake system's in there. I still have it somewhat loose. Need to make sure that this lines up, which it does, and then I'll need to tighten this, and then we're going to slide this back down into place. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten everything up now. Alright, so I have everything in right now. I still have this loose, and I'm going to look at the next step, because I know the next step, I need to reattach this piece right here that I kind of just have sitting loosely doing nothing right now. So I need to figure out how that gets reattached. And here it says, boom, boom, boom. Alright, so I have the intake lined up. I have everything going on there. Let's see where it talks about. It shows the picture there, but I want to see where it talks about what to do. Got my paper wet now, it's hard to flip the page. It doesn't really say too much, but I know that there's these spacers right here, and I know that these spacers go in right there and right there to help line that up. So I'm going to kind of just try to figure that out and show you guys what I do in the end. Alright, so I found right here, it says use supplied brackets and 4 plastic fasteners removed earlier, and then that's how you're going to do it. So I figured it out. So you have these metal brackets right here, and then you're going to put in this fastener upside down, so you'll have to reach through and push it through, and then that one goes there. Did the same thing there, and then I was able to pop this one in and then pop this one in. So now everything's lined up. Now it's just a matter of tightening everything back up and putting it all back together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so I have everything buttoned up. Got the bumper back in, got all the fasteners in place, got my side micers back in. I just need to put my front license plate back on. Got this side micer back in. Need to figure that out. Can make sure that tightens up right. Got that back in. Everything's on. The only thing I haven't done was start up the car, so that's pretty much going to be the next step. I'm going to start the car, but I'm going to have a video running from here so you guys can possibly hear it. Alright, well that's it. It's running. No check engine lights. I don't know if you guys could actually hear if it sounded any louder. You can't see the filter because it's behind the bumper, but it'll get plenty of air. This is away. I might zip tie this so it doesn't get stuck or close to anything. But if you hear it's idling fine. But everything seems to be alright. There's clearance everywhere. I don't see any rubbing anywhere. Everything's good. I'll take you guys to the inside. Look on the inside. Need to get gas. My TMPS light's on. Other than that, nothing really going on. Everything's good. So hopefully this helped you guys out. If you do have a 2017 and you're wondering whether or not the Perrin intake will fit, it absolutely will. And that red matches pretty nicely with the red on the intake. So that's everything so far. Hope you guys like this. Hit like and subscribe. Thank you.